On this episode of Bucks County Paranormal Investigations, Eric Mintel and Dominic Sattele visit haunted Hill View Manor, Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Once a home for the aged, the destitute, the insane. Now over 85,000 square feet of non-stop paranormal activity. What Eric and Dominic experienced goes way beyond anything that they've ever encountered before. Bucks County Paranormal Investigations investigates haunted Hill View Manor. My name is Eric Mintel. By night, I'm a professional jazz musician, but by even later at night, I investigate the paranormal. I, along with my team at Bucks County Paranormal Investigations, travel the country investigating all things paranormal. This is Bucks County Paranormal Investigations. On a cold Tuesday morning in November, Dominic and I headed out to Newcastle, Pennsylvania to visit haunted Hill View Manor. We're here with Melissa Keene. And Melissa, can you tell us a little bit about the history of haunted Hill View Manor?
Sure, absolutely. Haunted Hill View Manor actually got its start as the Lawrence County Poor Farm and Home for the Aged. It officially opened in October of 1926. You came here if you were mentally ill, if you were homeless, or if you were elderly and didn't have family to take care of you. It was a working farm, so if you came here, you either worked out on the farm, in the laundry, in the kitchen, something like that. It ran as the poor farm until the mid-60s, when the need for a poor farm was going away and skilled care became more important. And they began a renovation in 1974 and reopened in 1977 as Hill View Manor. And they ran as a nursing home until 2004, when cost overruns and structural issues, overcrowding, yes, exactly, forced it to close. In 2005, the current owners bought it with the intention of remodeling it for first apartments and then for a business, and then people started getting interested in ghost hunting, and here we are.
So, Melissa, have you had any experiences here while either giving a tour or just being here in general?
One of the most interesting ones would be on the second floor leading into Angelo's, or the noisy hallway. Music is a big trigger here. So we were skipping along about 1:30 in the morning singing, and as we made the corner into the hallway, the ward door slammed shut in our face. And I mean, like, enough that we had to jump back. Now, these are cushioned hospital doors. They don't slam. But they slammed so hard they splintered the wooden doorstop and took a divot out of the tile in the floor.
Wow.
So I thought that we sounded okay, but apparently the spirits disagreed with us.
I'm here with Chute, and tell me some of the stories and experiences you
I will
have.
say my favorite has to be, I was sitting in the lobby with my dowsing rods. And it started with Eli, and Eli was giving me yes or no answers. And then pretty soon, Jeffery came down to play with the dowsing rods. Then Mary Virginia came down. She never leaves her area. She came down to see what was going on. George came up. He played for about a minute, and he's like, screw that, I'm going back downstairs. But I was out there for probably 45 minutes, and I actually was able to contact the majority of the spirits that we have, that we know of in Hill View Manor.
So apparently Hill View Manor is a good place for the spirits, because they left, and when they left, after they passed, they came back.
Dom,
We're
they
going.
said the basement. Are we
Yeah.
going to the basement?
We're going to the basement.
We're going to the basement.
You drug me out to Pittsburgh.
We're going to the basement. Ladies?
Let's go to the
The
basement.
basement.
Let's go to the basement. Yeah.
So there's a story about this hallway?
Yes, there's a story. There was a resident here. Her name was Amanda. Amanda was 103 years old.
Wow.
And her room was actually straight down that hallway and one north. And every day she would wheel herself out those doors and she would sit outside and feed the birds. Well, Amanda was unfortunately getting a little bit of dementia and got confused one day when she came in and wound up falling down these stairs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they did find her and get her to the hospital, but she passed away about 2 days later, and she passed away on Christmas Eve.
The basement was filled with items left behind by residents who had long since passed. Could these items, known in the paranormal world as trigger objects, be amplifying the paranormal activity here?
This was furniture that was in patient rooms, belongings.
Lots of residual energies here,
Yes.
for sure.
They've actually been communicating with a couple of spirits down here right around this area. Spirit of an older Italian woman named Isabella, and spirit of a little 5-year-old girl named Courtney.
Well, I'll tell you, ladies, thank you so much for the tour. This has been unbelievable. I mean, what history?
It really is. It's so rich in history. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
It's been such a pleasure having you.
Thanks
Both
for
of you.
having us.
Next, we met with Denise Bollinger, historian, tour guide. She also told us some incredible stories.
The first room we come to is Eli's hallway, we call it. It's the old boiler room from the original part of the building. Eli was a maintenance worker here back in the 1930s. Eli had a love for alcohol. And the Snyders, who were the wardens at the time, were very Christian conservative, and they had very strict rules and guidelines for people who worked here. Alcohol was forbidden. In Christmas Eve 1934, Eli was found by some of his co-workers and friends at the main entrance in the snow outside. They brought him in, snuck him through the lobby, down this long hallway, and into the boiler room, which is at the very end of the building. They laid him there, hoping that he would sober up and not be reprimanded for over drinking. When they did come down on Christmas morning, they found out that Eli had passed on. The cause of death was listed as exposure to the elements. Eli wanders up and down the halls. Actually, Eli does wander throughout the building. He can go anywhere. Shadow figures are seen a lot in this hallway. He has been known to tell people on EVP to get out. And men will get tapped or pushed, and women, he will stroke their hair.
After Denise told us the story about Eli, we were given full access to the boiler room. Upon entering, you could feel the dark and depressing energy permeating that space. Thankfully, Denise came and it was time to move on.
I'm going to show you Mary Virginia's room. Mary Virginia was a resident here from the time she was a small child. She was actually orphaned here. She was born on Christmas Eve, 1917, and she never stopped looking and waiting on Christmas Eve for Santa to come. She loves her baby dolls. She loves sing-song, children's sing-song. She loves to be read children's stories too. And when you are in her room doing an investigation, if you ask her to, she will move her favorite necklace.
And are those the necklaces right there?
Yes, and those are necklaces that are gifts from investigators or people who come to visit her. They never cease to not bring her something. She gets a baby doll, storybooks, and lots of jewelry.
Next, Denise took us to the second floor to Angelo's hallway, the most haunted area in all of Hillview.
Angelo was found dead in 1930. They did list his cause of death as a suicide by hanging. One of our staff members has studied this hallway literally for 5 years. This is his favorite hallway. He has stated that the reason for the chairs is because these are very sociable spirits. They want you to sit and visit with them. They don't want you just to come down hunting them or anything. Mm-hmm. They want some social etiquette involved. Now we're going to go to Jeffrey's room. Jeffrey is a child spirit who was orphaned here with his older brother. Jeffrey was believed to be 9 years old and his brother was 12. So Jeffrey was left here by himself. The staff took him under their wing and they raised him. Jeffrey has been gifted a lot of presents from investigators who visit him. He loved Babe Ruth. He loved baseball. Lately, investigators the last few years have said how much Jeffrey really loves light-up toys, something that wouldn't have been part of the 1926 30s, that Jeffrey would have grown up. This is Mary Aiello's room. Mary Aiello was born without eyes, but she did have prosthetic eyes. She also suffered from severe OCD. She used to rock obsessively, and because she had to wash her hands no less than 15 times a day, her room was put directly across the hallway from the community bathroom. She counted steps and memorized steps from her rocking chair to the first sink and back. One of her favorite tricks that she liked to play on the staff was she would, on linen changing days, she would remove her prosthetic eyes and set them on the bed, so when the staff came in, they would see her eyes looking up at her. Mary is another spirit who has returned to Hill View Manor. She was here when the building closed, and I forget her date of death, but she did live to be 95 years old.
Wow, long life. Long life, wow. After thanking Denise for the tour and the incredible stories, Dominic and I started our part of the investigation. But before doing so, we admired the incredible architecture. Now it was time to get to work. So we no sooner get here, already Dom is feeling like a real heaviness and just like things have been going nuts. As soon as we walked in this hallway, Dom felt it was going this way. It was like kind of like, yeah, it was just very weird. And that's not uncommon when there's like residual energies happening, that those energies, that's something that Dom might be absorbing. We decided to push further on down the mysterious hallway, but with each step, it got heavier and heavier and colder and colder. Dom, do you have thermal?
I do have thermal.
All right, cool.
Just started it up. Oh my.
That's a heat signature.
Yeah.
And it is freezing in here. It's literally, I mean, I know it's cold outside, but it is 10 times colder in here. There it is, Dom, it's still there.
Yeah.
Now, we're getting closer, and you would think that it would go away, but it's not. It's right there.
It's getting worse.
It's getting warmer. They also said one of the patrons, a shadow figure, came and bum rushed him out of one of the rooms, so...
That was 120, which is behind us.
All right, well, we're going to be on high alert for sure. We continued walking toward the heat signature. But as we were walking, Dominic got the overwhelming feeling that he was seeing the ghost of an essential worker.
It's an orderly, and he's waving to us to come this way. I don't know what's down here.
How was that? So we're in what looks like a lounge area. And we just heard this really weird creak over here in the corner. Upon reviewing the footage, after I said we heard something in the corner, you can hear what sounds like a groan. Keep in mind, it could not be the heater. There's absolutely no heat going through this entire building. Over here in the corner. Over here in the corner. Over here in the corner.
Like a guy walking back and forth in Eli's hallway. A shadow of a guy, like he had his arms crossed and he was walking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We went in and we looked, we checked the camera, the whole bit, couldn't find anything. 5 minutes later, you see a shadow, you swear to God, it was a guy walking in back and forth in the hallway.
We saw something like that on Tuesday. We had a static camera there and we were looking down the hallway and we saw a shadow. It kept kind of getting bigger and then smaller.
Oh, that's the creeper.
Yeah.
That's the creeper. Yeah, you saw the creeper.
We put a static camera down one of the hallways where investigators have seen the shadow figure known as the creeper. Upon reviewing footage, there is a shadow on the left side of the screen getting bigger and smaller. Is this the creeper? After more than 2 hours of investigating, Dominic and I decided to wrap it up and meet with Carrie and the rest of the team. Here with Carrie Triko, owner of Haunted Hill View Manor. And Carrie, I gotta tell you, thank you so much for allowing us to, experience the rich history here of Haunted Hill View. I mean, some of the stories we heard today was unbelievable, and just the history, the architecture alone is incredible. And what you're doing for the community is incredible, so thank you for allowing us to roam your halls here.
Sure, absolutely. Glad you could come.
Haunted Hill View Manor has many community outreach programs. They've given permission to the Allegheny Search and Rescue Team, as well as the Pennsylvania State Police, to train their dogs inside the building. This expansion of the dogs' abilities makes them more efficient in the field. On Halloween, they sponsor a trick-or-treat for the young children in the area that benefits the much-needed support for the local canine officer in Shenango Township. And on Halloween, be sure to check their new attraction, Haunted Hill View Manor, a spooky delight. Ladies, thank you so much again for everything. It's incredible, and I can't wait to come back, and I can't wait to tell people about Haunted Hill View Manor. They're going to love this. So stay safe. We'll see you later.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Safe trip.
Bye.